Bir çalıp bakıverin. Çalın. Oh, We're about to start, so baby. Want to start, baby? Want to start? Chicho, Pagoelo. Want to start? Chicho, Chicho, thank you, Cowboy, for joining. Thank you, Lionel Love Songs. Thank you. Thank you for everyone that's joined. So we start now. Okay. Do you feel like you're in control of, do you feel like you're not in control of your own life or your own life story? Do you sometimes wonder if your past or your present or your environment is writing your future for you? I'll take that again. Do you sometimes wonder if your past or your environment is writing your future for you? What will you truly be remembered for when it's all said and done? Do you feel like your community is perceived wrongly? If those questions hit home, today's topic is for you. And today's topic is Write your own story, and the theme is a life that truly matters. So those questions hit home. Today's topics for you. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. So, this to say thank you to everyone and welcome everyone that is on TikTok, 46,000 plus. I think on YouTube is about 800 plus. On Facebook is over 14,000 plus. On Instagram it's over 10,000. A big thank you to everyone. We do this every Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. So you're all welcome. You're all welcome. You're all welcome. Before we dive straight into it, please repost this button, repost this video, long press. You can reshare it. Comment your biggest takeaways. Follow this page so that you can get more tips like this, and turn on your notification buttons so that you know when we go live. So if you tap on the screen, you can see emojis come up on the screen. Love emojis. That's to show that you appreciate what you're learning or one or two things that you're hearing. So before I move on, I have a free ebook on my page. If you go on my bio, there's a free ebook and there's a paid ebook as well. And also, you can book a 10 minutes free consultation call on there as well, or on the flyer. You can see a QR code. If you scan that, it will link you to how you can join our community of like minds. So my new book is coming out soon. It's in the work in progress. It's called The Migration Mirage: Why Nations Lose Tomorrow and Lineages Fade. So look forward to the website coming out anytime soon so that you can join the waiting list. So this live stream is sponsored by The Hair You Love, by D610 Homes, and by Love Family Podcast. A minute, please. Let's just put some. 1 minute, please. Okay. 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 Yeah, this live stream is sponsored by The Hair You Love, by D610 Homes, and by Love Family Podcast. So do well to check them out, and do well to what's the word? Do well to see what they do, and I'm sure that you will be glad that you linked up with them. Yes, as we crack on, as we continue, as we continue. 1 minute, please. Okay, yeah. One of the reasons why I do this, or the main reason why I do this, is to stir up a dissatisfaction in your spirit man, to awaken the potentials that are in you, things that can be that have not yet become. If it doesn't, it's intended that after 1 hour of listening to this live stream, in one form or the other, there will be a dissatisfaction in you. Largely because the Bible in Ecclesiastes 10 verse 7 says that I've seen servants on horses and I've wild princes walk on the ground like servants. So where people ought to be, that's not where they ought to be. So it's God's desire that you be on the right place. I'm not a guru. I only teach the things that Christ, by his privilege, has done in my own little life. I'm here to provide guidance I desperately needed, things that I wish I knew 10 years ago, things I wish I knew 5 years ago, things I wish I knew 50 years ago. So that's what I'm here to share. So as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. So as we get the ball rolling, I'm going to read a few words from John Maxwell's book. That's the book here. It's called Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. So I'm going to read a few pages from it. Hopefully, it can inspire you as we move on to this. So it says here, I'm reading from page 4. It says, in 1976, I received a gift from Alan Beavers, who was my assistant at the time. As I unwrapped it, I saw it was a book and I was intrigued by the title, The Greatest Story Ever Told. I couldn't wait to read it, but when I opened it, I was shocked. The pages were blank. Inside was a note from Ellen that said, John, your life is before you. Fill these pages with kind acts, good thoughts, and matters of your heart. Write a great story with your life. I still remember the excitement and anticipation that surged through me when I read her words. For the first time, it made me think about how I was the author of my life, and I could fill every page with whatever I wanted. And I could feel it made me want to be significant. It inspired me to do whatever I could make I could to make my life matter. So what's the secret of filling the pages of your life? What's the key to a life that matters? Living each day with what? Intentionality. That's the key. When a life, when you live each day with intentionality, there's almost no limit. Thank you. There's almost no limit to what you can do. You can transform yourself, your family, your community, and your nation. When enough people do that, they can change the world. When you intentionally use your everyday life to bring about positive change in the life of others, you begin to live a life that matters. I'll take that again. When you intentionally use your everyday life to bring about positive change in the life of others, you begin to live a life that matters. So, those are the words of John C. Maxwell from his book Intentional Living. I thought I'd share that directly from him because he thought it better, shared it better than I would say. So, in that book, in what I just read, you saw that the author was handed a book with an empty page. And those empty pages, he was advised that he should write the story of his life. So I'm just going to share with us and say, I got this book in 2015, I think November 14th to be precise. I think I wrote it down on the first page. And I read it and I accepted the challenge. I said a challenge to take my own life, to be the author of my life. So today, as a father of three, as a property developer in Nigeria, a UK property investor, and an entrepreneur in service accommodations both in the UK and both in Nigeria, and as well as in hospitality industry. I want to gladly thank God for my life, that I'm a living proof that when you take responsibility for your own life, your life begins to take shape, one chapter after the other. That's one important thing. Was one challenge I took from that book. The next thing is that intentional intentional turns the ordinary days into a meaning life. That's some of the things I learned from this book, and I want us to take as we start this. Nothing happens by accident. Nothing changes by accident. Everything that you can see in my life, everything I shared with you that Christ has done through my family, through my business, they came from living intentionally. It didn't come from accident. It was as a result of being intentional on a daily basis. Those are the things. One decision at a time. When you act with purpose daily, you don't just exist. You design a life that what matters. Another thing again I could take from this few places we read is identity fuels what decision. Know who you are. I'm a deeply rooted Nigerian. You know, I say very, very rooted Nigerian. I'm unapologetically Igbo. That's my tribe, is Igbo. I'm grounded in my culture and my heritage, and I'm passionate about my faith. That's I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. So this shapes my identity as I lead my family. Like it shapes everything I do, how I train my children, how I relate to my wife, it shapes everything and it helps me build businesses and serve others better. This approach. When you are clear about who you are, your story, you write your story with confidence and conviction. The next thing is that your story is bigger than you. I always say this to people. It must impact others. For 19 years, next year we'll make it 20 years, I've mentored teenagers in church, both in Nigeria and the United Kingdoms. I've coached people, business people, private people. I've helped them start their businesses. I've helped them become better people, help them thrive. You know, I've trained teachers, I've trained students, but in Nigeria, especially in public schools where they can afford, or schools that can afford my services. And I'm now here sharing my voice I do this every day on Sunday, streaming here every Sunday, and also as an upcoming artist. Why? Why am I doing all this as an upcoming author? Why do I do all this? Because a meaningful life is the one that transforms others. When you use your daily life to create impact, your story becomes what? Legacy. That's one of the like some of the key points you can take away from what you just read down in John C. Maxwell's book. In case you missed it or you came late, please, on my YouTube channel, you're able to find a video of everything that you missed. You can rewind it and watch it. So you are not here to read life as it comes. No, you are here to write. You're here to write it. So start today. Start today. Start today. So we're going to quickly define some terms. I always define terms. Why? Because I don't want to assume that everybody has a definition of the story or has an understanding of it. So I always define terms. What does it mean to say your story? The word story or the word story means an account of a imagined event involving people, experiences, and actions. So the word your means belonging to or associated with. Belonging to or associated with. So to combine the word your story is the personal account of your life, your experience, your choices, your challenges, your values, and your journey over time. It includes what? One, what happened to you? That's what it includes. Thank you very much for the likes. What you have done with what happened and what your life ultimately represents. So your story is not just what you have been through, it's how you interpret it, live it, and pass it on. So Maya Angelou once said, there's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. So I want to encourage you, tell your story. Your story is the unfolding narrative of your life. It's shaped by your experiences, defined by your choices, and ultimately remembered by the meaning you give to it. So as I wrap this up, definition section says your story is being written every day. Every day you write your story, whether you are intentional about writing your story or not. You are writing your story every day. So the word write means what? The word write means to record, create, or express ideas, experiences, or thoughts in words. So as we put this together, that's right. Trying to define the word write your own story. If you don't write your story, life will write one for you, and it may not reflect your true potential. So don't wait for anybody to write it for you. Write your own story. So what's the situation report? I always give a situation report based on whatever it is that I bring before us to discuss today. When people don't write their story, or when people write their story, what's the situation right now? What are some of the examples, or what are some of the things that we can relate with? I'll try to break that out. The star who lost control of his story. So this is not to discredit anyone, what everyone has achieved, but we can learn things from some of the things I'm going to point out. So some people rise fast, but never take control of their direction. Sorry about that. So a typical example is Balotelli. I'm sure you guys know him. Luis Suarez. And in this case, we're going to look at Diego Maradona, one of the most gifted footballers in history. He reached global greatness, winning the World Cup and becoming a legend. But off the field, there was a lack of discipline, addiction, and poor choices gradually consumed his life. So, but when you compare that to the life of Cristiano Ronaldo, the same global spotlight, same pressure, but through discipline, structure, and intentional living, he's extended his career and built a lasting legacy. It's said that this guy still trains very, very hard. Very, 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 very hard. So talent can open the door. That's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. Talent can open the door, but only discipline and ownership sustains the story. So it's important that you write your stories right. Next thing is what? The success path that still collapsed. Many people believe that stability or equals safety. But reality proves otherwise. During pandemic, thank you very much there. During pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, millions of professionals, be it bankers, engineers, or managers, they lost their jobs that they thought was secured. Years of loyalty didn't protect them. But when you look at the founder of Starbucks, his name is Howard Schulzler. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. He was on a job. He was on a job, and he came from a poor background. I worked a corporate job, but instead of staying comfortable, he took the risk of buying and bought into a small coffee shop And today we have a global brand. Even in China, you can find Starbucks. What's the lesson? Security is often an illusion. Ownership creates real control. So write your story. Even in your career, write your story. What this is saying is that don't be relaxed. Push yourself to get better, or to move on, or to aspire. The next thing is what? The dream that never became reality. There's a guy called Lynn Bias. I don't know if you guys look him up. It is said that he was very talented, was a very good player, but he never became the superstar. He never became the superstar due to poor decisions that off the court that led to his death. Just days, guys. Guess what? Just days before he was drafted into the NBA. Look him up. Lynn, Lenbias. Lynn Bias. So this guy was so talented. So days before you go into the NBA, it was said that, I think, cocaine addiction or whatever, he passed away or so, overdose. So it's important that his story is remembered not for what he did, but for what he could have become. That would not be the case of anyone. A great future is not guaranteed by potential. It is protected by what? Choices. So let us write our stories. When people decide to write their own stories, so I hope we learn from this, from rejection to greatness. We all know Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball. Instead of quitting, he used that rejection as a relentless discipline and became one of the greatest athletes to have ever lived. So write your story. Rejection becomes redirection, not the end. Another person who can learn from is the owner of what's it called? Of WhatsApp. His name is Jan Kwon. Kwon. Grew up in hardship, worked ordinary jobs, but he built a platform, WhatsApp, that is changing global communications, achieving massive success. At the time when WhatsApp came out, BlackBerry was the in thing, BlackBerry Messenger. But this guy came and set the pace and made everything different. So write your own story means shifting from earning income to creating impact. So it's important. Another person we can touch on as we wrap this section up is Nelson Mandela. He endured 27 years in prison. He could have what? Emerged bitter, but chose purpose, unity, and nation building. The greatest stories are not about what you go through, but what you choose to become after it. So this guy could be bitter about it, but when he came out, one of the most iconic thing about him is that he led a peaceful resolution, and he was leading people on so that there could be healing, so that the country can progress. So write your story. Everywhere, if you say Mandela, I don't think anybody wants to ask, is it Nelson or is it Beatrice Mandela or is it anybody would, the first thing that comes to your mind is Nelson Mandela. So it's important that we write our own stories. Some people become legends by design. Others become warnings by default. The difference is simple. Who held the pen. So who held the pen matter. Whether you're going to be a legend by design or you're going to be a warning by default. The choice is yours. So I'm going to ask you quickly, where do you belong? So listen to these names and tell me where you belong. When you hear of the names like Idi Amin, Adolf Hitler, Pablo Escobar, Sani Abacha, Joseph Stalin, what comes to your mind? Is it fear? Is it power? Is it destruction? These are legacies. They still left legacies people will never wish they existed. These are another sets of names. When you hear of Pele, Steve Jobs, Mother Teresa, Dora Kunyili, Albert Einstein, you think of impact, you think of innovation, you think of service, you think of transformation, you think of legacies that uplift humanity. But there's another third group. They did not do any evil thing. They did not destroy anything. They were just absent. They lived, they worked, they paid their bills, but they never truly mattered. Their stories are not remembered, not because they were bad, but because they were never intentionally written. They went to their graves with untapped potential. So remember, they're the first set of people I mentioned, people that you don't want to associate yourself with, or people that you don't like the legacies they left. You don't want to. There's another set of people I mentioned, people that you say, oh, their legacies lift people up. Now there's a third set of people that don't do anything at all, that go to the grave and die with an untapped potential. So the three outcomes. One group reminds you of fear. Another group is celebrated. The third group is forgotten. Where do you belong? I remember the words of Pastor Paul Enenche. He said, some are dead, but will never be forgotten. But there are plenty of people that are alive, but will never be remembered. Where do you belong? I also remember the words of Pastor David Owell. He said, it is better to be dead and not know life than to be alive and not know why. The one who died prematurely will be far much happier than the one who lived to be old but died an empty death. I'll take it again. It's better to be dead and not know life than to be alive and not know why. The one who died prematurely will be far much happier than the one who lived to be old but died an empty death. It's important that the question is not if you remembered, it's how and for what. What would you remember for? What would you remember for? So which story are you writing? What story are you writing in your life? What do you want the outcome of your life to be? What do you want to remember for? What is it that when people think of, they remember you for? I hope that we're learning a thing or two. So what are the hidden costs of a life that matters? So if you must write a good story, your life must matter. What are the hidden costs? One, if you don't do anything with your life, it's wasted potential, lack of fulfillment, forgotten legacy, and missed influence. Wasted potential, God forbid for anybody. The things that you can be, wasted. Lack of fulfillment, you live your life and you're not satisfied. You're on a job that does not give, there's emptiness. Forgotten legacy, actions and choices. Nobody remembers you, nobody wants to talk about you. Once you're gone, you're gone. That would not be of any case of anyone here. Missed influence, things that you could have become, people that you could have shaped, things you could do. So it's important that these are the hidden costs. We need to ensure that we live a life that truly matters. So what must we do? We must ask a very, very important question. Why am I on earth? This is a very good book. I highly recommend this book. This book has sold over 3 million copies, I'm sure more than. This is my most gifted book. My most gifted book. It's called Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. And the question is, what on earth am I here for? This will change your life. It will change your mind. It will change and give you a sense of meaning, a reason to walk, to wake up every day. Purpose Driven Life. This is my most gifted book. I should have given out more than 30 copies of this book in my life, and I still hope to give more. So I highly recommend this book. This will answer the question, why am I on earth? It will answer that question. Life will make no sense, have no meaning, or you will abuse life if you don't find out the reason why you are what? If you don't find the reason or the response to that question. So I highly recommend it. What must you do again? Be intentional. Start every day asking, what kind of story will I write today? Don't drift. Define key actions. Another thing again is what? Take bold steps daily. Take bold steps daily towards that thing. Do one thing every day and stretch yourself. Make that call. Start a new idea. Invest in that opportunity. Small, consistent. There's another book I talk about. So if you watch this a lot, you would have heard me talk about it. It's called The Slight Edge. Talks about doing things little by little every day. Little by little every day. Little by little every day. I highly recommend this book for you. So the next thing to do is what? Guide your mind. Guide your mind. What you read, what you watch, the things you listen to help to shape your story. They help to make who you become. Invest in yourself. You are your greatest asset. If you have never bought any course, never gone for any mastermind, you have never gone for any mentorship, you don't read books, you are doing yourself a disservice. Yes, you are educated. Yes, you have your master's. Yes, you have your PhD, but you have enough. Like I'll say to my wife, when at the right time, I would love to be an AI consultant. I've inquired about it. I know how much the cost is. I'm happy to pay for it. I pay for different costs at different times of my life. Different times of my life. So it's important that we invest in ourselves. That's one way of helping to shape the stories that we're going to write into our life. All right? Invest in yourself. Reinvesting yourself helps to refine your character. Are you knowing fully well that your character is the definition of who you are? Your character is who you are when no one is watching. So if your character is not something you are proud of, your character is not something you're happy about, when you're not there, people talk about you. You're not joyful about the things they say. Then begin to work on yourself. Read books. I tell you, if you read 10 pages of a book every day pertaining to the thing that concerns you, in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months, you begin to see that your character, and you put those things you are reading into practice to begin to refine your character, to begin to refine it. One of the ways to improve yourself is to stay with like minds. Look for people that have the same values like you. Stay with them. The more you stay close to them, the more you stay close to the fire, the more you help yourself. Feed your mind with the truth, not lies, not entertainment. Grow. Purpose, not distraction and negativity. I hope we're learning something. So far I talked about, I said, what must you do? 1, you should find out why you're here on earth. 2, be intentional every morning. Do something about it. 3, take a bold step towards that thing, that idea, whatever it is. And 4, guide your mind. How do you do that? By reading, good friends, whatever goes into your mind, you need to guide it. Next thing to do is write your values. Write it down. Write your values into your actions. Live out your identity daily. Your faith. 1 minute, guys. Live out your identity daily. Your faith, your culture, and your principles. Live them daily. I'm very proud of who I am. I'm proud of where I come from. I know that I respect United Kingdom, I respect America, I respect all these places, but I'm proud of where I come from. I'm proud of my faith in Jesus Christ. So proud of it. I'm happy about the things that the Bible has done to my life, how it has shaped my life, how it has helped me, who it has helped me become, how it has helped my marriage, how it has helped my relationship to people, how it has helped the works of my hands, how it helps me to become a better father. I'm happy about it. I'm happy about my culture as an Igbo person. I'm so happy about it. I'm happy about the upbringing, the things, the values. I'm happy about them. Write your values into action. Let people see it every day. Don't just say who you are. Demonstrate it by how you live, by how you speak, and by how you decide. Be proud of your language. Teach your children. Be proud of your language. Teach your children. Be proud of your culture. Teach your children. Speak about it. Speak about it. The next thing is to invest in people, not just progress. Invest in people. A meaningful story should impact others, encourage someone, mentor someone, serve someone. Your story becomes powerful when it lifts others, not just yourself. The next thing is to reflect and adjust every night. Take out time to reflect. Ask yourself questions. Did I write a page I'm proud of today? If not, don't quit. There's always a room for improvement. Growth comes from honest reflection. Analyze yourself every day. What did I do that shouldn't have done well? There are things I've done in my past I'm not proud of. So I use opportunity. Okay, I need to improve on this. I need to improve on that. The way I speak, the way I address some things, the way I acted, you improve on it. It's important. Next thing is what? Stay consistent and not perfect. You won't get every day right, but don't stop writing your life. Consistency beats intensity. Show up daily and keep moving forward. The most important thing you have to bear in mind about the intentionality of writing your story. These are not just ideas, they are daily disciplines that turn ordinary lives into extraordinary stories. Whatever it is that you want to, whoever it is that you admire, whoever it is that you look up to, whoever it is that whenever I hear their story, you are inspired by it. Their own did not become like this. It was intentional. Every day they're working on their life every day, working on life, and they became who everyone talks about. As we wrap this up, I want us to ponder on these points. It's important that we understand the times and the seasons of our life. That's one of the worst things that can happen to any man. Not understanding the times and seasons of your life. Your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s. Understand the times and seasons of your life. That will help to shape your story. That will help to define your story. When you understand the times and seasons of life, you make the most of it. So people don't understand. They are doing things they ought to do at the wrong time. I hope that will not be a case of anyone. Understand the times, the seasons of your life. Another thing I want to say to us, for us to ponder, this time around, I'm talking about writing a story as a community, as Africans. Why it's important that we must what? Write our own story or tell our own story. Very important. If we don't tell our story, it will be told for us. Why do we need to tell our story? Because we need to own our identity, ownership of identity. How do we tell our stories? Through our movies. Be mindful of the things we write in our movies. Now, our movies these days, I don't want to say deep much, but we should be mindful of the stories we sell in our movies. Why is it that whenever you see a movie about America, you see that they always say, oh, people, whenever there's a protest, people write things like, save us, save us. Or America is always seen as a superpower. Like when they come with all their military, whatever, they come and they save the day. They pass this narrative through the movies. And whenever there's a protest in any different part of the country, well, the next thing you see that people raise the flags of Britain, America, because they are selling their own story. Let Africans begin to sell their story. Sell the story through movies. Sell our story through our music. Sell our story through our names. Our names. Our names. People are quick to answer names that have short forms, like Zaza or names that are that can be shortened into Joe. You get what I mean? I just on my top of my head, I can't remember the names. But people are quick to take names that can be shortened so that it can sound Western. No, be proud of yourself, proud of who you are. We can express ourselves through our cultural expression, through our what accents. I'm proud of the way I speak. I'm not interested in changing my accent. It defines who I am. I respect other people, but I respect the way they speak. But by this, my identity, I like it like this. So Africans should own their identity and sell it to the world. The world needs spice. Not everybody do the same thing. How can Africans also tell their own stories? By preservation of our heritage, by celebrating our excellence. Be audacious about your culture. Dress in your apparel. Dress in the outfit of your culture. Be proud of the food you eat. Not when they ask you, when your Caucasian friends ask you, what did you eat today? As a Ghanaian person, you say, I ate rice and beans all mashed up together. No, tell them I ate wache. If you're Nigerian, they say, what did you have or what did you have for lunch, or what did you eat? How was it over the weekend? What did you eat? If it was a goosey soup and gari, tell them I had a goosey soup and gari. Not to start saying, oh, I had melon soup. I had melon soup and I had cassava flakes all mashed up, and that's so did. Pizza is made of flour, but they call it pizza today. Everybody don't call it pizza. Spaghetti is made of wheat. Everybody calls it spaghetti. What's that thing? Barotti or something like that. I forget what it's called. The wrap is Mexican. It's just dough. They put some beans and all these things and wrap it. They gave it their own name. Let's be proud of our own. Sell our own story. Everybody talk about jollof rice. If we don't talk about it, who will know about it? Sell your story through the wisdom that we share, the ancestral knowledge. Being authentic. Let's be proud of saying fufu. Don't just say, oh, cassava mashed up. No, be proud of it. Another way that we can sell our story as Africans is what? Empowerment through representation. Tell our stories through art, we've done about achievements and what? Public presence. Just like we have our authors writing books like Chinua writes his book, writes about the story about Nigerian story, African story in his books. Chimamanda Adichie, the same thing. Some of our artists like Burna Boy and Fela Nicola Mokuti, they express themselves through it, and different other artists. Let's be mindful that whatever we're doing, we're selling our story. Let's not get to the point where because our songs are being, in order to be accepted we now start changing our style of music so that become with all due respect to there's a lady, they say her name is Tyler. I don't say anything South African about her music. That's it. I don't say anything South African about. I don't understand why her music can be compared to some other person's music that has the flavor or the touch of where we come from. When you compare her to Brenda Fassie in South Africa or other people, their songs were very original, very South African, you know. So it's important that we don't lose touch because we're trying to appeal to people that don't have respectfully, without respect to them, they can never tell your story. So tell your own story through your music. Another way that we can tell our story is by restoring our homeland, by owning our narrative and returning to contribute. It's important that diasporans think in this way. We need to go back and reclaim our space, not just reclaim it, repair what was neglected. I always say it, the diasporas are the missing link in the development of Africa. Until the diasporas go back and fix their country, the politicians will be excited that we stay from afar and keep pointing at what can be done right. Nobody will fix it for you. Donald Trump will not fix it for you. The King of England will not fix it for you. They will be negotiating things that will favor them. They don't have an interest in seeing that the continent of Africa is fixed. They might give you aid. When they give that aid, like I discussed last week, nothing is free. The president of Nigeria has come to the United Kingdom and collected a loan. There are some terms that were put out that we heard. I'm also sure there's some terms that were written in the background that we don't know about. Nothing is free. These people don't have intention of seeing that this African continent become better. We need to write our own stories. We need to be proud. We need to go back and fix our country. There are ways of going back. These are conversations that I'm having in my book, and I hope that we can, as it comes out, we can discuss that better. I always say this to people. Imagine that Mexico, an African country, was hosting the World Cup, and like Mexico, that's having shootings or so with a gang and all that stuff. Imagine it was an African country. They would have cancelled that World Cup by now. But instead, Mexico comes out and says that it's going to send out 10,000 troops or soldiers to protect people. What if it's that day that they play football, that their enemy is planning for them? If it was an African country, let's be realistic. Would that World Cup still hold in that country? Let's ask ourselves that question. Imagine that an African country was United States. Few months to World Cup, you are striking another country. I don't want to dip into politics. Who is right, who is wrong? That's not what I'm interested in. What I want to draw out here is that you are about to host the whole world in your country. Few months into it, you strike another nation. What if that nation retaliates when the World Cup is happening? If it was an African country, would that World Cup go on? The reason why the World Cup might go on or might not go on, likely it might not go on, is because we don't tell our stories. So as Africans, we need to tell our stories. It will not be told for us. So tell your stories personally, tell your stories as a community, tell your story as a tribe, whatever it is, be intentional about telling your stories. I'm sure you guys have learned a thing or two for everything that we shared today. I always want to say thank you, and thank you. If you have anything to say, please, now is the time to share it. Otherwise, we can bring this to an end. And I just say thank you for always joining and always being a part of this. All right. So I'm just going to post out a link. I hope you share the thing or two. Any comments, any thoughts, any ideas, any agreements, any disagreements, whatever it is, please let us know. You can just come and share it, or you can type your biggest takeaways in the comment section so we can read it out to the audience to hear. As I wait for everyone to go, please remember that there's a free ebook, paid ebook, all of my bio. My book is coming out, everything on my bio. How to join, all of my bio. If you feel you need any of this, please search on the on my bio. You can find it all. All right. If you're on Facebook, I posted a link. You can join with the link, and we can have a conversation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a thoughts. You support it. You're against it. What it is. Let us know, right? Okay. Okay. I just want to post this out there. Before we wrap this up. I hope we'll let a thing or two. Hope we'll let a thing or two. Thank you very much for always joining, always learning. I'll always be there. Very much appreciated. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes. Just want to read a comment or two. Okay. 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 Sorry about that. I thought it was a comment. Okay. Yes. Okay. So as we wrap this, bring this to a close. Yes. Remember that we'll be discussing how to write your own story, and the theme was a life that truly matters. When you write your own, when you are, of course, writing your own story, technically, or of course, your life will truly matter. We're building a life that truly matters. Thank you, Weber. He says, thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for that. Thank you for those thoughts. Yes, as we bring this to a close, let me see if there's any comments here. I bring this to a close. Uh, okay, I bring this to a close. Just want to say a big thank you to everyone. A big thank you to everyone. Thank you for always joining. Thank you to the audience. Thank you, everyone. Wherever you're watching from across the world, a big thank you to all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to all my team, my PA, to my social media manager, Venus and Dabi, to my wife, my children. God bless you all. To my mentors, to everyone that I've learned a thing or two from their book or their videos or whatever it is. Just want to say thank you to my colleagues, those I work with, to those that are my that we sharpen ourselves. Well, just want to say a big thank you. Let us know what your biggest takeaways are. Type them in the comment section. Share this stream so that more people can be part of it, and also so that we can all grow together. Drop your biggest takeaways in the comment section, and type what you've learned today. Let us know what it is. Click share. Click share. Click the button share. Somebody's life can be changed just by you clicking share. Post this in group chats where you are, and bless people just by it. Next Sunday, same time, we're going to be discussing stay hungry. The topic is stay hungry. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. So, and I hope that to see you here. Tell your story. Thank you, dear, for that. All right. Remember that you can, on my bio, there's a link where you can book a call for 10 minutes. And we can have a conversation for 10 minutes about your business, about strategies, or whatever it is. Book that, do that. Look, there's a link on my bio. Also, there's you can download my free ebook on through that same link. You can also pay for the paid ebook on the same link. The free ebook is about shortlets. The paid book is about the free ebook is about being financially free. The paid ebook is about how to from idea to shortlets business. All right, in the United Kingdom. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for every gift. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the gifts. Very much appreciated. Yes. Okay. So take your life in your own hands, control your own time, and don't die average. So this live stream is always sponsored by the Hair You Love. The Hair You Love is spelled D for Delta, then hair, U for umbrella, then LUV. LUV. So D for Delta, then hair, U for umbrella, then LUV. The Hair You Love deals on premium human hair. So you want to check them out. They've been doing this since 2016, and you can't go wrong if you patronize them. All right. This extend homes. What do we do? We specialize in property development in Nigeria, property investment in the United Kingdom, short lets in Nigeria, short lets in the United Kingdom. If you are looking for how to put your money to good use, send us a DM and we can work something out together. All right. Love Family Podcast. Yesterday we had our first podcast. We're grateful to God for that, and we'll be having that every Saturday. Please do well to search Love Family Podcast on YouTube. I watched the full uh, podcast last week. Yesterday was a podcast about transgenerational wealth, and one of the iconic things about it was that the guest we had, Mr. Olubuyiwa, how he bought his first house within the 12 months of him being in the United Kingdom, which was very inspiring. So you want to check that video out, all right? Okay, so as we close, I also want to say a big thank you to you, but I'm going to recap this. Take the pen of your life. Take the pen of your life. Your life is a blank page. Stop drifting, start writing. Responsibility, not circumstances, determines the outcome of your story. So write your story. Write your story. The next thing I want to say is live intentionally, not accidental. John Maxwell in his book, like I mentioned to you, said good intentions is not good enough. You have to live intentional. Good intention is not good enough. You have to live what? Intentionally. So live intentionally, not accidental. Meaningful lives are designed daily through what? Deliberate choices, discipline, and consistent actions. Not mere good intention. I have a good intention. Oh, I plan to do something good, but you never do any, never take any action. It's never good enough. All right. Next thing is, as we recap, know who you are. Know who you are. Write with clarity. Be proud of who you are. Don't try to be another person. It's called wannabe. Identity fuels direction. When you know who you are, it gives you direction. When you are grounded in your values, your faith, and your culture, you write your own story with confidence and purpose. You don't be ashamed or ashamed about who you are. Be proud of it. You see, people they have their name, they say, "Oh, my name is Ola." That's not my name. My name is Onyekwelu. My name doesn't have any short form, and it's so. What's your name? Onyekwelu. What's your name? Onyekwelu. My daughter's name Oyechikeapru. What's your name? Oyechikeapru. Same thing, Chimelibiche. Chim Cholum. No shorting because you are proud of it, your identity. You are proud of your culture. You are proud of your value. You meet me and you say, "Oh," or some people when you come to what those days when we used to work, when we come back on Monday, "Oh, how was your week? How was your week? How was your week? Oh, what do you do?" They'll tell you about how they went to club, or they had a lot of drinks, or they passed out. They had so much fun. But me as a Christian, I went to church on Friday. I was a Bible study. On Saturday, maybe I went for evangelism. I spent time with my family. Went for house fellowship. On Sunday, I was in church. But some people might be shy to talk about their own. But these guys are not shy to tell you how they went to the club, how they drank, and what they did. Be proud of who you are. That's an opportunity to tell them about Christ. I will tell them, "Oh, wow, that's nice. Okay, that's good for you." I went to church. I did on Friday. "Oh, really? You go to church?" So, yes, that's my opportunity to tell them about my faith, uh, which I believe everybody should know about Christ. I tell them I'm proud of it. If we went for a party, I'll tell them about it. If I did everything, if any opportunity to sell my culture or my faith, I always do use it. So know who you are and write your life, write with clarity. Make your story count. That's the next thing. Make your story count beyond you. Let it count beyond you. A life that matters is the one that impacts others. Your story becomes powerful when it what transforms lives and leaves a lasting legacy. I always say to people, I share the things that me and my wife do not because I want to aggrandize myself, but it's to let you know that I'm not just here to talk. I'm not a motivational talker. It was a few days ago that the guy that there's a lady with my wife and I, we pay her school fees. The guy that is the guardian or the teacher sent a message. "Oh, the lady has run out of this. We pay you get an amazing smart child. By grace of God, my wife and I will bless that lady with a tuition. We pay for her in the boarding school, everything, all expenses paid for. My wife and I will bless in our community people with loans. We do that, especially women. Don't collateral interest-free loans. We do that since 2020. What else do we do? Recently, we just started giving at random new nursing mothers that just gave birth to children below 3 months. We give them gifts, nursing gifts. The reaction is amazing. My daughter encouraged her 10 years old to renovate what do you call it, a nursery school. And what else again? And so many other things that we do as for my community. Why do I share these things? It's so that you understand that you when you make your story count beyond you, a life that matters is one that impacts others. It's not just the one that is with you. If I, Sharing what I do is to let you know that I live these things. I'm not just here to inspire talk and tell you nice things. No, we practice these things, and by the grace of God, and with all sense of humility, is to say that if Christ can do these little things through our lives, you can do the same thing. That way, you can shape your own story. So your story becomes powerful when you transform the lives of others and leaves a lasting legacy. So as we wrap this up, I hope we have been inspired. Hope we've learned a thing or two. Remember that the whole idea of the thing why I share what I share the story about myself, share things about you, why I do this every day, is to stir up the satisfaction in your spirit man. It's to awaken the potentials or the things that you can possibly become in you. If this doesn't cause a stir in you, then you need to check yourself. I want to believe that for the last 1 hour or whatever it is, and if you watch this every week, your life, you'll be challenged to take actions, to be a blessing to mankind, to want to write your stories in the right direction, to want to do the right thing. Remember that the Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7, I've seen servants on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants. Ensure that you're at the right place at the right time. That's God's plan for you. You're not at the wrong place doing what God doesn't invest. Like, remember, the wise always invest. Invest in ways to write a story that you'll be proud of. Invest in ways that when you are no more, people will be able to turn back and say, that was a good man or that was a good woman. Invest in ways so that your community will be proud of what it is. Let's tell your story as a community. Tell your story as a human, as an individual. I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you for taking out your time. I'll see you next time, same time next Sunday. Peace, Udo, and about. God bless you. Bye bye.